Sorry we're starting a couple minutes late, but call tonight's City Council meeting to order. Do we have any here from the Emergency Assistance Ministry tonight?
Scott Stilger?
No. Okay. Then
He's a minister, I
Cindy
think.
Shader too. She's good.
yeah, I think Cindy's not here. Would you mind? I kind of conned you into it earlier.
See what
If you
you
wouldn't
get?
mind, please. Thank you.
Thank you all for standing. Father God, you've blessed this nation immensely. We're so thankful to live here, to receive your love and your blessings. Please guide each member of this council, everybody in attendance, may have ears to hear and eyes to see what needs to be done in running the government in a godly fashion. We give thanks in Christ Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to break from protocol on the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. I've got a couple young men here from Troop 964. If you guys would come up to the lectern up here, if you would mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, it would be greatly appreciated. Just come on over here, guys. There you go. And the flag's right over here.
Will you
Pledge
please
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Good idea, Matt. Okay, Gloria, let the record show that all members of the council are here, present.
So noted.
On the minutes, Mayor, we have 4 different sets of minutes, and the first one being the City Council regular meeting minutes from May 7th. And I move for their approval and acceptance of the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting from April 5th, the Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting from March 1st, and the Youth Commission from April 21st as they're presented.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes have been approved. Claims against the city?
Mayor McFarland, I move for approval of claims against the city for May 2nd through May 15th as presented.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I abstain.
Okay. Matt abstained. Meeting agenda approval. Larry, any changes from staff?
We have none, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone on the council? Any changes? Okay, I'll accept a motion to approve the agenda as.
So move. Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. No special presentations tonight. Consent agenda list, all the items listed with an asterisk are considered routine matters and will be enacted by one motion, one roll call vote of the council. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or member of the public so requests, in which event the items will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence of agenda. Anyone have anything you want to pull off?
Mayor McFarland, I move approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second?
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgibbon.
Yes.
Councilmember Varela.
Yes.
Councilmember Cortson.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Herman.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. All right, item H is the public comments. And I want to remind everybody that the public comments, we request you keep your comments to 3 minutes. In the event that you do run over, I will allow you to go beyond that, but you will be cut off at a maximum, or I should say a maximum of 5 minutes. So anybody who would like to speak, then please come forward, state your name and your address, please.
My name is Patrick Hansen. Address is 1670 North Pinal Avenue, number 12470, Casa Grande, Arizona. Tonight, I wanted to bring something to the council's attention. I also have some information to share. I have in front of me a section of the Uniform Bonding Code. I've had issue with the city attorney failing to prosecute a crime that's been brought to his attention, as you are aware of my previous times coming here. I have 2 letters here from Terry Montijo from the Victim Services Division. Both of these letters state that they are going to refuse to prosecute the people who assaulted me and committed an act of battery against myself and my 3 children. And according to the Uniform Bonding Code, it clearly states that the bonding of a prosecuting attorney, he shall lose his bonding and shall not be bonded and shall be deemed unbondable if, number 1, he refuses to prosecute a complaint when it is possible to do so, regardless of who the complaint is against. Number 2, if he refuses or if he resorts to selective prosecution, for example, any excuse of immunity for an official in order to protect malfeasant officials from prosecution. An officer of the city of Casa Grande, when I reported a kidnapping because the taking of my children was without warrant, without consent, and without any emergency circumstances, failed to prosecute the criminals that took my children. Number 3, if he resorts to selective prosecution, false or malicious prosecution of a citizen in order to punish or destroy a citizen, or attempting to have a malfeasant official prosecuted, for attempting to have a malfeasant officer prosecuted. A judge shall lose his bonding and shall not be bonded and shall be deemed unbondable. Number 1, if he fails to protect the U.S. national constitutionally guaranteed remedies of due process and the equal protection of the laws of any citizen appearing in his court of law, or any citizen appearing in any court of the county in which he works, whose case may come to his attention. Bonding of attorneys, a lawyer or an attorney shall lose his bonding, shall not be bonded, and shall be deemed unbondable if he fails to protect the remedies of due process, the equal protection of the law of either his client or the adverse party in an action. In an adversary system of law, each lawyer or attorney shall protect the representation of facts, not only of their own party, but shall protect the legal process for both parties without exception. I'm bringing this to your attention because this puts the city in a kind of a predicament, because you no longer have city attorneys that are bonded or can be bonded. And so I would like to raise the question, what are you going to do now that the city is without an attorney or without any legal representation because they have not stayed within the Uniform Bonding Code and they've breached their oath of office? And that's a question I know you can't answer directly tonight, but I look forward to your response. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hanson. We'll have someone in the city manager's office get back to you.
Thanks.
Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to address the council tonight?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, if I can take just a minute to introduce our new economic development specialist, and I know he's probably a bit surprised, but Fernando Garcia, who has started with us for about 2 weeks now, right? It's been 2 weeks, so Fernando's welcome into Grande. He's hit the ground running and has been very active in his first couple of weeks.
Very good. Well, welcome aboard. Anyone else here to want to address the council? All right, seeing none, then I will close the floor. And we'll move to item I1, considering an ordinance accepting a bid from wireless CCTV.
Mayor and council, thank you very much for this opportunity for me to be up here. I went ahead and asked that the slide be put up so I can, as I speak, there's a visual representation of what I'm trying to get across. Have a number of things I need to work through here. I'll work through them as quickly as I possibly can. If you have any questions, please let me know. So why are we here? Trying to keep it real simple. I'm here to request authorization from mayor and council to purchase 2 wireless closed-circuit television, or CWC-CTV solar trailers through grant funding not to exceed $54,085.00. But the actual purchase came in about $100 less, $53,000.
53,941 it says here.
53,941.
Before tax?
There we go. I think I went too far. Okay, so why am I requesting this, or why is the police department requesting this? The city of Casa Grande has a long tradition of hosting numerous events throughout the year, such as 4th of July, Electric Light Parade, small events, large events. We face a lot of issues as far as security issues, and not all events, and I like to use Electric Light Parades, is centrally located. We've done really well with the rodeo, where we have the park grounds, everything's contained within the fence line. But the Electric Light Parade for us poses a big challenge because of the magnitude of the distance, also the streets and the people that come in. So that's one of the things we're looking at when we start looking at how can we better respond and how can we provide better service to the city, and also how can the departments work together a lot better that are involved in this. Also, the amount of equipment and personnel is pretty large. I mean, we go anywhere between 30 to 50 people, between officers, volunteers. We use explorers, park rangers, police aides, off-duty officers come in, on-duty officers, and that's not including whatever the city has out there also. So it is a large group of people to work an event, and that's all the events. So it's pretty large. And as always, trying to find a smart and efficient way to increase both city and police services and the ability for departments to work together in a smarter way. So to continue with this, the police department in the past, we've come to you with some innovative ideas. We like to say we got one foot in the present and one foot in the future, and we really are trying to take advantage of that. And this is one of those products that I think capitalizes on that. Now, you have a picture of the trailers we're looking at. So we plan on, if approved, to purchase 2 of these trailers. These are really lightweight trailers, easy to move around. Gives us the ability to see what's going on in real time. And the beauty of it is we're not restricted by how many people can see this. So anybody here, as long as we give you the access code, you can watch this on your phone, desktop, on an iPad. We can stream this live if we wanted to on the city website if we chose to do so. So that way people can see how the event's going. So it gives us a lot of options and a lot of opportunity to monitor what's going on from a distance. And it can also be used by multiple city departments. So if we want to get away from the events and there's some kind of construction going on, we can use the camera for that. It's also got a alert. So if somebody comes in within a certain proximity of something, you'll get an email or a text that says, hey, I need to turn on the camera and see what's going on. So it's pretty nice in that aspect. Now the video that's captured, I'm actually got ahead of myself. So let me get into the technical facts. Now, Mayor, I have to apologize as always. I'm not an IT guy, so I'll do the best that I can regarding this. Because I know you've hit me with some pretty good questions and I have no answer to them. Mm-hmm. So it's got a 20-foot retractable mast, so it goes up pretty high. Each trailer has 2 terabytes, high-definition cameras attached. It breaks down further to each camera has 1 terabyte and keeps that up for 30 days. Okay. We have the ability to retrieve that data if we need to, if a crime is committed or we just need that footage. So we have that ability. 4G LTE connectivity. Each camera has their own connection to Verizon. It has a 2-year Verizon data plan, so we get 40 hours of live continuous live stream from each camera. So that'd be a total of 80 between the 2. Email alerts for intrusion. It comes with a 2-year warranty with initial on-site setup training. full network and hardware support, and it's plug and play right out of the box. Now, the really nice thing about this, we don't need the city network at all. So we don't have to bother IT with it. And I did have them look at everything before we started this project, and they blessed it. So the most important part is how are we paying for this? Like everything else around here, budgets are tight, so we're always trying to find alternate means of funding, and we've been very successful the last few years with this. We were very fortunate in getting Prop 202 grants, so the Gila River Indian Reservation helped us out on this. They gave us $54,000. Fortunately for us, came in a little bit under. So as far as expenses go to the city, the initial purchase is ours. Now, with recurring contracts in regards to the airtime, we want to get and secured a 2-year contract with that. So we don't have to worry about this for 2 more years, depending on how the city finances go. So hopefully this will give us enough time to prepare it, add that to our budget in 2 years. But for right now, we tried to cover all our bases the best we could. And that's it. Any questions?
Ralph?
A couple of questions. Would it reduce any of the police officer presence at any of the events? That would be my first concern.
Councilmember, I think it will. I think it's a force multiplier in the sense that we can put the camera up. And then one thing we're really working on is our command post. And we're getting better as far as other city personnel coming in and utilizing that space so we can effectively control an event. Now, with these cameras being placed at certain spots, it'll give us the ability to see what's going on. One person can do that. So we won't have to physically put a body there. That body can be put somewhere else. But over the course of time, I'll be able to answer that for you in about 6 months or to a year as we come into our holiday season. I could probably have an answer by January as far as that goes. But until I get these out there deployed, but I know one thing I can tell you right now is that we can be smarter about how we deploy our people.
Okay, and the second question, did I hear you right that there would be public access to camera processes?
That depends on us, and I have to talk to the city attorney about this, if there's any legal ramifications from this or not. But it's a live stream, and it's basically just like an email address, and I just give it out to whoever needs it. You put it on your phone, on your web browser, and you can view it. So that's something I would have to talk to the city attorney and make sure it's okay to do, but I personally don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, I do believe in transparency, and if somebody wanted to see what's going on at 4th of July event, they can see the crowd, see what's going on, so we can do that.
I guess one of my concerns would be there's some predatory folks out there that this might work to their benefit rather than protecting the public. So hope that you might consider how, this getting in the wrong hands would not be a good thing.
Well, the control is ours. Okay. I mean, if you see a camera, that's fine. But actually, the actual video is zooming in and everything else, that's on us. Other people won't have that. You have to have administrative rights to do that. Okay. We can always have each tower, like for example, if you look up at a screen or you have a screen in front of you, each tower has 2 cameras, so you have 2 different angles you're looking at. So you can be looking at the left side of the room and the right side of the room with one system. So that falls on us, like I said. I understand your concern and you're absolutely correct. But at the end of the day, we need to sit down and discuss this. I just want to throw that out there as an option if somebody was interested in that. Doesn't mean we have to do it, but it's just out there.
Thank you.
Matt?
But with that being said, are you going to have someone assigned at events like to be watching this camera to make sure?
Right. So part of the package that comes with it is they will come down and provide training for us for free. That's all included. So whenever we do pull the trigger on this and I make that those arrangements, I'll talk to the chief. We'll see what other departments we want to invite, and then we'll all get together and we'll be taught hands-on on how to work this equipment.
Yeah, but I mean, so like if there's an event, like the electric light parade, and you have these cameras out, because I mean, unfortunately, this day and age is kind of something that we need because it's going to help us keep a lot more eyes out. Are you going to have someone assigned to each camera during the event to
Yes.
watch everything?
So what we utilize right now is a command post. I think you've seen it right there on Trek in Florence in the Cal Ranch parking lot. Right now we have a dispatcher who's assigned specifically to that event. We have our own channel. All communication is routed through that, so we don't interfere with current police operations. That individual will have the monitors up, and then that individual can look, because there's not always traffic going through So while they're not talking on the radio, they can look at the
They can be
cameras, just
watching the
like
cameras
dispatch.
and see. All right.
Right, and it'll be their responsibility to alert police officers or city personnel that are closest to whatever's going on, you know, to go take care of whatever's happening.
I know you said there was a 2-year warranty, I think it was included, and I noticed it said September 2017 it was awarded, so I'm kind of curious is why it, you know, it took so long to get this?
So this year, I had 2 projects that really tested me, and it was more of my inexperience. It was the motorcycles and the cameras.
Motorcycles came first.
Yeah, so, and I think Selena can tell you this, because she was, you know, helping me quite.
I didn't know if that would have a hindrance on the award, you know,
No.
because sometimes they're within a certain amount of time.
We have till September.
Okay.
But, yeah, this project was very difficult for me. I learned as I went, and a lot had to do with the procurement. That had a lot to do with it. Brett's office helped me out quite a bit on it, but it was just my inexperience. I'm learning as I go.
Okay, and then the last thing is that as far as the upkeep, after that 2-year mark is over with, what kind of cost factor are we looking at for upkeep and out of warranty?
These are self-sustained. They're like the light towers. I don't have a price for you, but I can find out. Very minimal equipment inside. I'll find out for you. I don't have that answer.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Powell?
With 2 of them, an officer could sit and watch what's in front of him and watch 2 other locations at the same time.
Yes.
And radio out if he needs help in those areas or whatever. Would that be the case?
Yes, our plan is to utilize a command post as a command post should be used for larger events. Because right now, we put the command post out at the big city events.
So you could save 2 men if you had 3 areas that were being watched.
Yes, and to
With
go back to
the help of
Councilmember Valera's question.
Also, when we have areas where we're having criminal activity or we need to get something seen, are these too big to use to try to use as video evidence of what's going on there? Or can they be camouflaged enough to be valuable, or?
Yeah, no, one of the really nice things about this camera system is I can actually take the camera off. And we have some camouflage. We can mount them on telephone poles. We can mount them pretty much anywhere we want.
I know we've used some before, like where for graffiti was coming back and catching the person that was doing it on the.
Right, no, these are nice. The actual camera itself has the Verizon uplink attached to it, so I don't need anything else. I just need the camera. As long as I have a mounting source, I can put this camera anywhere. So I can take it off this system here and use it by itself. So yeah, it has a lot of benefits for us. So we plan on using it quite a bit in different ways.
Well, the third thing, I would really like to say a thank you to the Gila River Indian community for putting up the money to purchase this. This isn't costing our citizens a penny, and thank you to them.
Yeah, this is one of those projects we wanted to do when the chief first got here, we discussed. But like everything else, you know, you just have to find the right time and the funding source. Fortunately for us, everything fell into place, and we were fortunate enough to get this money. So worked out real well for us.
Anybody else have any other questions? You answered all my questions.
Right. I think I'm getting a little better. So.
Good job.
All right,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. So I will entertain a motion to
An ordinance, please?
ordinance number, please.
Oh, nicely done.
Segue there.
Oh, you're getting good at
Ordinance
that.
number 3079, an ordinance of the council of the city of Casa Grande, Arizona, accepting a bid from Wireless CCTV LLC for the purchase of providing 2 wireless closed-circuit television solar trailers, authorizing expenditure of public funds in an amount not to exceed $53,941.11, and authorizing execution of a contract with or purchase order to Wireless CCTV LLC in accordance with the terms submitted to the General Services Administration, GSA.
Mayor McFarland, I move approval of ordinance number 3079 as presented.
Second?
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I get a roll call vote, please, on ordinance 3079?
Councilmember McBride,
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Councilmember Varela.
Yes.
Councilmember Cortzen.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Herman.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes.
I forget, vote twice.
All right, move to I2. This is consider a resolution for our 4th of July fireworks display.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Staff is recommending the Mayor and City Council authorize a contract with Fireworks Productions of Arizona to provide the 2018 4th of July fireworks display in an initial amount not to exceed $14,800. Recently, our staff solicited bids from experienced and professional contractors to supply and deliver all fireworks, including the cost of operators and liability insurance. Our staff reviewed the bid submittal and recommends Fireworks Productions of Arizona to be awarded the contract with the option to renew in 2019 and 2020. Fireworks Productions of Arizona was the only company to submit a bid for this service. They've also been the company that has successfully and safely performed this service for the city of Casa Grande for many years. Year one would be a purchase of $14,800. The option in year 2 and year 3 goes up $200 per year. So year 2 would be $15,000 and year 3 $15,200. This time I'd stand for questions.
I just have one. What did we pay last year?
I believe it was $200 less than that. They-
200, 300.
In that ballpark, if not right on that.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm going to make the assumption, but reassure me that there's incidents where there's been safety concerns in that. Have you looked into their safety record, and are you satisfied with their safety and experience record?
Yes, their safety and especially what they're doing in our city has been very good over the years. We've had zero, if any, complaints or any incidents with our fireworks display. Obviously, whenever there's fireworks throughout the nation, I'm sure there's been accidents, but
Right.
this company has done a very good job, and they do provide the liability insurance.
As part of this?
Yes.
Okay.
And just refresh my memory, if we have to cancel, what does that do to the payment process? I mean, because of
Because of rain,
weather,
I'd have to look into the contract to see.
I don't remember seeing that.
Rain?
Hope it doesn't.
Weather, wind,
First monsoon rain.
I don't remember seeing that.
That is how,
That, or we could potentially reschedule it to a different day if, I've been in cities when they moved the
They've done
4th of
that.
July celebration to a different day because of weather.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Okay, can I get a resolution number, please, Gloria?
That was good.
Resolution number 5098, a resolution of the council of the city of Casa Grande, Arizona, accepting a bid from FPA Ltd., doing business as Fireworks Productions of Arizona, to provide 4th of July fireworks display, authorizing expenditure of public funds in an initial amount not to exceed $14,800, and authorizing the execution of a contract.
Mayor McFarland, I move for approval of Resolution 5098 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I get a roll call vote, please, on Resolution 5098?
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Councilmember Varela.
Yes.
Councilmember Cortzen.
yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Herman.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. All right, next item is I3, an ordinance for the bid on new image building services, janitorial services.
Thank you. Staff recommends that the mayor and city council approve a contract with New Image Building Services LLC for the facilities maintenance janitorial services. We have it as a base bid amount of $323,988, and we've built in, on top of that, optional services for $11,802. These optional services would only be used under extraordinary circumstances, and it would be outside of the scope of the base contract. So it'll be an amount not to exceed $335,790 for fiscal year 18-19. We did put this out to bid and we received 3 bids through this process, and after evaluation, New Image was determined to be the lowest and most responsive bidder for these janitorial services. They have been our contractor for multiple years, and we've been very pleased with their services. Each of the facilities throughout the city's building system has been evaluated for the level of service for cleaning that is needed for each of those. So it's broken out per building, days of the week, number of hours needed per the square foot of each of those facilities, and it's broken down into detail in the contract. We're also have all of the restrooms that are part of the park system are also part of this contract. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
And they've been our contractor in the past?
Yes.
Okay. Is this bid similar to the last year's?
It obviously increased, but as we've looked at this bid in relationship to a lot of our materials and supplies and services that we're receiving, it's right in line with other increases that we've seen.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
No.
Okay. Hearing none, then I'll, please give me an ordinance for I-3.
Ordinance number 3080, an ordinance of the council of the city of Casa Grande, Arizona, accepting a bid from New Image Building Services LLC to provide janitorial services, authorizing expenditure of public funds in initial amount not to exceed $335,790, and authorizing the execution of a contract.
Mayor McFarland, I move for the adoption of ordinance number 3080 as presented.
Second?
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I get a roll call vote on ordinance number 3080?
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Councilmember Varela.
Yes.
Councilmember Cortzen.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Herman.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. All right, no boards and commission tonight, ordinance, no resolutions, so we have a public hearing. Before we open the public hearing, though, I'd like to ask the finance director if she could go over this as adopting and it's basically our consolidated fee schedules. You want to go over that?
Yes.
Then
Mayor and members.
Then we'll open the floor.
Okay. Mayor and members of council and residents of the city of Casa Grande, tonight we have a public hearing on the consolidated fee schedule and a recommendation from staff to approve the schedule. If you approve it tonight, the effective date would be July 1st, 2018. In accordance with Arizona revised statutes, we did go through a public notice process. In March, the council adopted a notice of intent to raise the wastewater fees, but this is only the septic disposal fee. A point of distinction is that we are not recommending, and we have not brought forth a change to the monthly wastewater, water, or sanitation rates. So this is just a disposal fee. We also posted the comprehensive schedule in March and the supporting fee reports. In April, we published the cash flow report for the septic fee as required by the ordinance. And in May, we published the notice of intent for both the septic fee on the wastewater side and the comprehensive fee schedule, as well as held a workshop on May 7th and also a discussion at the budget retreat on May 16th. The fees and recommendations that we have are really based on cost targets or cost recovery rates for providing the level of service and on market comparisons. Some of the fees are lower just based on being able to remove barriers to comply, such as the animal license fee, and then some items are 100%, such as adult recreation, those types of things. Just to highlight the departments who have come forward with fee recommendations, at the airport, we do have a new call-out fee for after the first 2 hours, and the concierge service has increased. The city clerk is recommending the removal of a certification fee for city documentation and the addition of a notary fee. The golf division has a change to the single green fee annual only cost of $100. The library is removing the cost for batteries and lanyards as they no longer hold those for sale. They also have added the copy and printing charge that they charge at the kiosk. And then fire has a number of reductions in their command staff vehicles, ladder trucks, and standard fire engines. We have a number of changes recommended by the Planning and Development Department in administrative fees, basic plan permit fees, certificates of occupancies, land use applications, and a number of other items. Some have gone down and some have been increased just based on cost of providing services. And other than that, we have the septic disposal charge on the wastewater side and some other charges such as disconnect and reconnect fees on the water side. And I'm ready to answer questions. We also have the directors from each of the departments here available as well.
I think we've all had a chance to look at all those pretty extensively, especially at our budget retreat. So no other questions?
It is a public hearing, Mr. Mayor.
Right, so no questions from here, so I'll open the floor to the public. Anyone wishing to address this issue may come forward. Okay. Seeing none, then I'll close the public hearing, and we'll ask for a resolution number, please.
Resolution number 5099, a resolution of the Council of the City of Casa Grande, Arizona, adopting and declaring as a public record that certain document filed with the city clerk and entitled FY 2018-2019 Consolidated Fee Schedule effective July 1, 2018, and establishing an effective date.
Mayor
Mayor
McFarland.
okay.
I move for approval of resolution number 5099 as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I get a roll call vote on resolution 5099, please?
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgibbon.
Yes.
Councilmember Varela.
Yes?
Councilmember Cortzen.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Herman.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. All right, so that's everything. We have one more item on our agenda tonight. It's reports. And before we go into reports, I want to remind everybody, please keep the reports about events and not issues that may be future agenda items. Just as a reminder, if you do have an issue that you want to be brought before the city council, please let myself or Mr. Raines know, or I think if 3 council members have the same issue, then we can also put that on the agenda. But I don't, just let us know. Happy to put it on the agenda. Okay? Just as a reminder.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll start with Lisa over here.
Good, I know I have like this scratchy throat. I don't have a whole lot. I was out of town, but just wanted to, I guess it's a past issue, the whole budget. Just to thank staff for everything. I mean, going through that whole process, and I know it was a huge task for staff to come up with that balanced budget and kind of go through every line item and make sure that we're, watching everything. So I just really appreciated everything everyone did, and I know there's some tight times ahead, but I feel good about next year, and I think I just ask the community to keep on shopping local. Make sure that you continue to shop here so we can increase those sales tax dollars to help with the services that we provide. So thanks again, Larry, and everyone else.
Great. Ralph?
I had an opportunity to visit the city court and have a tour there with Judge Juarez, and she did a real good job of providing the tour, and she wanted me to extend the invitation for other council members who would like to tour it. On the city budget, I think one of the things that I saw a great benefit is that there's not a reduction in staff and there's not a reduction in services, and after all our strong years and some of our harder years, we've always been able to maintain the service at the level that they are and maintain our staff. And then I attended the Casa Grande Chamber of Commerce and heard Chief McQuarrie speak about public safety, and to his point, it's a very safe city, and we're very lucky to have the department and department leaders that we have. So I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you, Ralph. Matt, Mr. Herman?
All right, we got our new youth commission seated, or voted on the other day, and we'll be approving them at the meeting coming up on the second meeting, no, I think we're moving it down, 18th meeting next month, so you'll get to hear about that. And I really like the presentations tonight from the STEM team and the homelessness task force, because we all had the idea of, we already have all these great events in the city, let's invite other people to participate in those events, so we're not creating all these new events, and that's how they can get the word out to everyone, because people are already going to be there. So it's a great way of community working together.
Very good. Thank you, Matt. Donna?
Public Works Week, thank you to our Public Works folks, because they do a good job at keeping this together. Also, Matt, you mentioned the Youth Commission. I know we have some Youth Commission members that are going on. Please extend our thanks to them as they graduate. And we have graduations coming up this coming week, and we've got a lot of people that are going to be in town. So I hope people will be safe. And that's all I have.
Mary?
I don't have a whole lot. I just, I was just glad that the STEM students and program accepted the invitation to come and speak. And there's other facets of that program that, and presentations and looking at maybe in the future, there was a group that were developing apps that they could present here. So that would be a continuing. And I think as we expose this, we have, we always are great supporters of the FFA and of our football teams and that sort of thing. And I would like to see these clubs and these programs become just as much of the everyday fabric as, and again, these kids are, and they're normal children, they really are. And they're very intelligent, but very personable in that. So that's my biggest, is that, and I just cannot say enough about, again, I was telling Cindy Shader that having this list, when I first looked at this is just the kind of format I like, is, we've talked about it, you talk about, people put words in it, you read magazines, you read this and that. And again, this is just a huge action list. It was very well done. You guys had to have put in a lot of effort in this, especially in the shorter time that this was, to me, it seems like a short period of time that it was done, but it's very well done.
Thank you, Mary. Mr. Powell?
I'm going to decline. I think it's important to be able to discuss issues as a council person, and this is the only chance you get to hear them in public, the people that are watching, and to not be able to talk about an issue, you can't make a decision, it's just somebody making a report of what they think might be an issue. I think it's important, so I'm going to decline tonight.
Okay. Just a couple things that I've got. We had a community connection day at McCartney Elementary School. It was all morning, and we got to see every child in the school came through. And our police department was there, the fire department was there, border patrol. It was just a really good mix of agencies and also public. There was a builder there was a landscaper there, so the kids got to see different different jobs that you could possibly get into. So they went around to all the tables and talked to people. It was a good exercise. It was good for me also to have a chance to talk to kids about the city business. So it was fun. I want to remind everybody that the city did launch an online services request portal. It's a 311 service. So you have to download it, you put it on your app, and you can report anything from graffiti to potholes to any issues that are in the city. So if you haven't looked at it, take a look at it, put it on your phone. It's an app that you can use at any point in time to report issues that the city may be able to help you with. So I think it's a great service that we're now providing, and again, opportunity to report anything. Just send it in, and if we can help fix it, we'll get on it.
It's a good program.
Yeah, it's a good program. The other thing that I wanted to remind everybody, I went to ADOT last week and spoke at the board at the state board for the Department of Transportation, and it's the board that decides on, who gets the money. And so they're approving their final 5-year plan, and the 5-year plan has to be to the governor's office by the end of June. So there's 1 week left to give input on this 5-year ADOT plan. So what I'll do is I'm going to put it out on Facebook. I'll put it out on CG Chat. There's a link that you can go fill out a survey, and I'd appreciate it if everybody would kind of jump on that survey and put in their thoughts to ADOT. What I'd like you to talk about is supporting the Courtson TI, which is the intersection at I-10 and Courtson. We are asking ADOT for $7 million, and so would appreciate everybody putting that in on a survey question to ADOT. It'll just give us a little more emphasis and maybe raise us up to the top of the list so we can get that interchange done in the next 5 years. So, and that, and we're improving on house building. Just so everybody knows, Casa Grande for year to date is up 150% on housing starts, so in permits. Maricopa's still doing very well, up 72%, and on a very large base, I might add. But our numbers are improving. And Gilbert is down and Chandler was down, so they must be running out of houses. So hopefully that means,
No offense to Maricopa, but we have a Chamber of Commerce.
hopefully that'll send people our way. So we continue to work on all of that, and with that, I have nothing else. So tonight's meeting is adjourned.
You said right before 8, you did it.